You cannot discover a place that already has people living there. To the guy who said Africa was discovered by Europeans, let me teach you something. You don't discover a place where millions of people already lived, traded, built kingdoms, and developed complex systems long before Europeans touched African soil. When Vasco da Gama arrived in 1497, he didn't find wilderness. He found cities. He found the Swahili coast, Kilwa, Mombasa, Mapungubwe, civilizations trading with India and China centuries earlier. Only thing Europe discovered was its own greed. You didn't discover Africa. You invaded it. You renamed it. You redrew the borders. You enslaved and colonized. That doesn't sound like discovery. It sounds like theft. Why do we still believe this lie? Because history is taught from the perspective of the thief, not the victim. And that is why your textbooks lie.
According to Western officials, Traore is a gold-thieving warlord clinging...
Yeah, they are obsessed with this guy, more than I am. They can't stand the idea of not having control over the resources in Africa. They can't stand it. Like, literally, I'm almost positive that Africa is the continent with the most natural resources. So, technically, Africa should be freaking loaded. And I'm pretty sure that they don't need anything imported. Everything can be produced in Africa. Everything. So the only benefit they could gain is exporting stuff within a reasonable manner. So more money could come in. But otherwise, they're fine without us. Anyways, I love this for Africa. And as Muammar Gaddafi said, leave Africa for Africans.
Oh my God, white women are angry. Very angry. What happens when white women begin to talk about African politics? It's taken seriously. And when white women begin to talk about a particular person, Ibrahim Traore, then it will be given priority.
Have you heard of Ibrahim Traore before today? Do you think the West fears leaders who actually serve their people? This is the Africa you're not shown, but I'm here to show you.
White women are now talking about Ibrahim Traore and the imperialistic attacks he's getting from France, from the US, from the West. And they're telling their people, leave the guy alone. Hands off Burkina Faso and hands off Ibrahim Traore. Let's go.
While Western leaders bicker over trade wars and election headlines, a 35-year-old African president just kicked out a former colonial power, and barely anyone's talking about it. His name is Ibrahim Traore. He's the president of Burkina Faso, a land rich in gold, culture and resilience, and he's shaking global politics. Traore was a military captain, young, determined, tired of watching his people suffer under corruption and insecurity. In 2022, he led a coup, not to seize power, but to reclaim it for the people. Burkina Faso was colonized by France. And long after so-called independence, France still pulled the strings. Military bases, gold mines, media control. Traore ended it. He expelled every French soldier and said, "We'd rather die in dignity than live in domination." That's not defiance, that's freedom.
So it seems that the United States is messing around with Africa again, Burkina Faso, because Traore has run France out of the country, taken back their gold and their mining and everything else that belongs to their country. And he is uplifting his people. What is it with Western countries and the United States, why they like to go in and destabilize other countries, and then they wonder why there's immigration to this country? Because you keep on destabilizing other countries. Leave the goddamn people alone. It's their natural resources. If you want it, then you need to pay for it.
Burkina Faso was formerly colonized by France and has an abundance of gold in natural resources. Traore pushed out Western influence, including the mine owners, who are French mine owners in Burkina Faso. France wanted to reestablish relations with Burkina Faso, and if you've seen Macron giving a pretty ridiculous speech trying to say one day they'll thank us for helping them, no, They just wanted you to leave them alone. Anyway, Traore said that in order to reestablish relations with France, that France is going to have to return all of the gold that they have stolen from Burkina Faso's mines, and all of this gold that they have is sitting in reserves in France. France is trying to say that that gold is theirs. It comes from mines in France. There are no gold mines in France. So now the US is getting involved. And we can all guess what those claims are going to be. Now we're seeing the claim, oh, he's stealing all the gold for himself and he's not helping his people. The next they're going to be like, we need to bring democracy to Burkina Faso. Like those typical things that the US says in order to manufacture consent for invasion and ultimately backing a coup, which I'm sure they have already tried. Them, France, and anybody else who benefits from the gold exploitation of African nations, which includes those fake Muslim countries like the UAE. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for saying that. But there's a reason why a lot of these nations are not coming to the aid of Palestinians and are also thriving off of the exploitation of natural resources from nations in Africa. Anyway, I'm hoping this gets picked up by American TikTok, but we'll see. And as we go along, you're probably going to hear a lot of comparisons of Thomas Sankara to Ibrahim Traore. Sankara was a leader almost exactly like Traore around 1970s in Burkina Faso. I have one of his speeches pinned on my profile. I'm going to make a part 2 sharing what I know about Sankara because I understand this is 2 minutes and that might be a little bit too long for people's attention span.
What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Dash Lifestyle. Kindly for watching me for the first time, remember to subscribe, like, share and also comment. So guys, recently we saw United States and France, they came out and threatened Ibrahim Traore. They were saying that they want to arrest Ibrahim Traore because Ibrahim Traore, he has become a dictator, and also Ibrahim Traore, he's using the gold of Burkina Faso to protect himself. But guess what guys, I didn't expect that the white people, they will come out and defend Ibrahim Traore after their leaders sending a threat towards Ibrahim Traore. Majority of the white people, they came out and defend and protect Ibrahim Traore. I want us to watch this video from the white people who they came out defending Ibrahim Traore. So kindly guys, watch this video till the end, then I'll be back with more comment.
Leave the goddamn people alone. It's their natural resources. If you want it, then you need to pay for it.
This is Ibrahim Traore. If you don't know who he is, you should. Ibrahim has been the president of Burkina Faso since 2022. Right now, Burkina Faso has been in the news a lot because there was just recently a coup attempted upon him. This is like the 19th coup that they've had against him. He is a shining example of what African countries could look like if European colonizers could keep their colonizing asses out of their countries. And yes, I do realize that I am a European descendant person talking about this, but I am specifically here to educate other white people so that way you guys know what's being done to disenfranchise places like Burkina Faso.
I love Africa. It's so difficult to watch Ibrahim, I can't even say his name, Traore, in his speeches and not be absolutely like shaken to the core at the absolute dedication he has to his people. And of course, that's a threat. That's a threat to colonialists. That's a threat to the West. Having anyone who is able to gather people that were ultimately very divided in a very large continent is a threat. If you don't know, Ibrahim has already survived over a dozen assassination attempts. I think it was like 18 or something. And of course, France is threatening him. He has taken upon himself in Burkina Faso to build roads. He's putting in the infrastructure. He's taken it away from private companies to ensure there's no corruption through there. And they are on the ground building roads right now, building the infrastructure that Africa deserves. He has taken control over their own resources. And of course, this is a huge threat because these colonialist nations like France, they profit off of exploiting Africa, and they always have. A continent as rich in resources and culture like Africa, being independent and being free and being able to profit for its people, oh my god, now that's a whole new world.
What is it going to take Ibrahim Traore needs to be protected at any cost. Any and all cost. Protect this man. For God's sake, protect this man.
Burkina Faso's revolutionary government in Africa has officially said no more to the foreign imperialists who are stealing our gold. Captain Ibrahim Traore, the youngest leader in Africa, has officially withdrawn the mining permits for all foreign companies that were stealing the gold of Burkina Faso. And he put out a statement. He said, "We know how to mine our gold in Burkina Faso, and I don't understand why we are going to let multinationals come in and mine it." Maybe that's why they've tried to unalive him 16 times. In addition to this great news, Captain Ibrahim Traore placed those mines, 2 of them, under full state control, which means that the people of Burkina Faso will be benefiting from all the revenue generated by those gold mines, not some wealthy investors living in France or the United States. This is the path to true liberation for Africa, and this is definitely what the imperialists in the West fear the most.
While Western leaders bicker over trade wars and election headlines, a 35-year-old African president just kicked out a former colonial power, and barely anyone's talking about it. His name is Ibrahim Traore. He's the president of Burkina Faso, a land rich in gold, culture and resilience, and he's shaking global politics. Traore was a military captain, young, determined, tired of watching his people suffer under corruption and insecurity. In 2022, he led a coup, not to seize power, but to reclaim it for the people. Burkina Faso was colonized by France. And long after so-called independence, France still pulled the strings. Military bases, gold mines, media control. Traore ended it. He expelled every French soldier and said, "We'd rather die in dignity than live in domination." That's not defiance, that's freedom. And yet we're told to admire leaders who privatize public services, who sell off futures and call it growth. But what if real progress means reclaiming what's ours? They label him a dictator, but millions across Africa call him the new Sankara. Maybe we've just forgotten what people-powered leadership looks like. Have you heard of Ibrahim Traore before today? Do you think the West fears leaders who actually serve their people? This is the Africa you're not shown, but I'm here to show you.
Alassane Ouattara, the president of Ivory Coast. Listen me very carefully. If you are going to let American use your air bases or military forces to try kill Ibrahim Traore or destroy Burkina Faso or destroy Mali or destroy Niger, I am telling you straight, you will face us. And we will point you as Africa's enemy. This is direct warning to you.
Why are the Americans threatening Burkina Faso? Why is Trump going to back for the French and going after this guy? Why is the head of the U.S. AFRICOM, the Africa Command, talking about the need to secure Burkina Faso's resources? Because this guy is the boogeyman to European imperialism. He's a young black African Muslim Marxist who is digging out the French deep state in Africa. French colonialism never ended in Africa. The French have a very effective deep state in Africa. Through the banking system, through fake ownership of the natural resources of Africa, they have been able to maintain economic and political and military control over much of their former colonies. Most of the wealth of France is still stolen from Africa. The gold that fills their banks, the uranium that powers their metropolis, all of this is looted from Africa. When they pulled out, they installed a deep state with corrupt rulers that they could pay off in order to get resources for practically nothing. And Traore is ending that system. The French created a banking system for Africa that gives France basic entire control over those nations' economies. The Africans actually have to borrow their own money at interest from France. And the gold mines, the uranium mines, all the natural resources in these countries are treated as French property, and Traore has been making them property of the Burkinabe people. And as leader of the Alliance of Sahel States, his neighbors have been joining in on it. France has been getting driven out of Africa. Some good information on it. Check out the Al Jazeera documentary, The Gold Mafia, from Al Jazeera Investigates. or this Caspian Report video about how the French bank basically owns a bunch of African countries. Now, while Trump probably does not have any direct financial interest in the French Empire, there's what they always called the threat of a good example. The reason they tried to kill Fidel Castro so many times and blockaded Cuba was not just because of the loss of the banana fields and sugarcane fields. It was that if driving imperialism out of a country improves the standard of living in that country, then there's the threat of a good example of other countries replicating. So any country that dared to defy imperialism had to be severely punished. And what Brother Ibrahim has been doing and the Alliance of Sahel States have been doing has been improving the standard of living in their countries by using those resources for those countries, and that is a threat to imperialism worldwide. There's been something like 20 or 21 coup attempts or assassination attempts on him so far, and they're not going to stop. This guy is perhaps the single greatest threat to the imperialist world order right now. Tomorrow, April 30th, there's supposed to be a continent-wide protest for him across Africa. His cause is being taken up all over the continent, and it is a wonderful thing.
According to Western officials, Traore is a gold-thieving warlord clinging...
Yeah, they are obsessed with this guy, more than I am. They can't stand the idea of not having control over the resources in Africa. They can't stand it. Like, literally, I'm almost positive that Africa is the continent with the most natural resources. So, technically, Africa should be freaking loaded. And I'm pretty sure that they don't need anything imported. Everything can be produced in Africa. Everything. So the only benefit they could gain is exporting stuff within a reasonable manner. So more money could come in. But otherwise, they're fine without us. Anyways, I love this for Africa. And as Muammar Gaddafi said, leave Africa for Africans.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video and you have listened to what the white people they have come out and say about Ibrahim Traore. For me, I didn't expect. It is just a shock to me that also the white people they are also coming out and defend Ibrahim Traore. In fact, the white people, it is like they are really tired to see how their leaders, the Western leaders, they are treating the black leaders. For me, seeing them also coming out and protect some of our African leaders, especially Ibrahim Traore, and also they have known that Ibrahim Traore is a true leader. It is only their leaders who they are making Ibrahim Traore to be a bad leader. For me, seeing them coming out, supporting and protecting Ibrahim Traore, it is just a really shock to me. And also, guys, you can also comment down below in the comment section. Do you see that? Do you think that these people, they are really genuinely coming out and defend Ibrahim Traore, or they are just coming out defending Ibrahim Traore so that we can see also they are so much concerned with Ibrahim Traore? Because I know what the Western people, they are capable of doing. These people, especially their leaders, they have been eliminating our good leaders. They have been bringing down our good leaders, our leaders who were really wanting to unite black people, the leaders who were willing to work according to the will of the black people. These people, they have been taking them down. So when we African, we are trying so hard to have a good leader, when a good leader, it is coming, he or she coming into power, these people, they always come out and bring that leader down. But right now, we are seeing how these people, they have been trying so hard to bring Ibrahim Traore down, but it is like they have really none of their plan, it has come to bring Ibrahim Traore down, because we know that Ibrahim Traore, he has survived at almost 50 assassination attempts. So these people, they have been trying to bring down Ibrahim Traore, but they didn't manage to bring down Ibrahim Traore. So they decided to come out with a threat and telling the people the lies that Ibrahim Traore is a dictator, that Ibrahim Traore is using the goal of Burkina Faso. How comes a dictator like Ibrahim Traore making educational free, starting from primary level to the university level? Is that really a dictator? Is that really a dictator? If Ibrahim Traore is a dictator, I really want Ibrahim Traore to continue being dictator. If for them a dictator is a leader who is making educational free in his country, let that dictator be a dictator. Let him continue to be a dictator. You can imagine these people, they are saying that Ibrahim Traore is a dictator, and Ibrahim Traore, he has created more jobs in Burkina Faso. Right now, Ibrahim Traore, he has make hospital or healthcare free and accessible to all people. You can see that it is kind of dictator that these people, they are saying. If it is Ibrahim Traore is a dictator and is doing all these good things to the people of Burkina Faso, let him continue be a dictator. And also, I'm so happy to see how the black people, they came out and protect Ibrahim Traore. I saw the black people in the Caribbean after the United States, they were threatening to bring down Ibrahim Traore. The Jamaicans and other countries in the Caribbean, they also come out and protest and send a warning message to the United States, telling them that not to try and bring down Ibrahim Traore. And also, I've been seeing majority of the white people also, they have come out and protect Ibrahim Traore, but I'm still having doubts from the white people if their protection towards Ibrahim Traore, it is a really genuine, because I've been seeing that the Western people, they have been using the black people to fight black people. Even the threats that they were coming from the United States, these people, they use AFRICOM general, that it is General Michael Langley, to send a threats towards Ibrahim Traore, because these people, they usually don't come themselves. If they really want to fight with a black person, they just don't come and fight the black people. No, these people, they are using our fellow black people to fight us black people. And that's why I'm telling you that I'm still having doubts from the white people who they are protecting Ibrahim Traore, they are sending message towards Ibrahim Traore. For me, I'm still not convinced. Because these people, if they really want to protect us black people, if they really want us black people to see them as a good people, there is some of the things that these people, they need to do first. First of all, these people, they need to pay black people their reparation. They need to pay black people reparation. Our African people, our African countries, they have been asking for these black people reparation. They need to pay for the damages they did during colonization. They need to pay for the mistake they did during colonization. Up to date, we are still having some of the families which they are having slavery scars. We are still having some of the families which they are having the bad memory of what happened during slavery. So these people, they need to compensate them. These people, they need to pay for the damages that they did to these people. That's why we as African people, we are still asking for slavery reparation. So this is one of the things that these people, they need to do first, and so that we can see them as really wanting to support us. First of all, pay black people their reparation. Another thing, second thing, these people, they need to return the stolen things. These people, they need to stand the stolen things which they stole here in Africa. When you are going in their museum, in the Europe, in the United States, you are finding the treasures thing that they stole from here in Africa. They have put in their museum, and they want us to pay so that we can go in their museum and see the things that they stole from us. First of all, I'm telling them they need to return all those things that they stole during slavery, and after slavery also they took some of the treasures things from Africa. They need to return them here in Africa. They need to return our treasures thing. And also another thing, these people, they need to leave our leaders and our minerals and our resources alone. One thing that it is making these people to fight with Ibrahim Traore, it is because Ibrahim Traore, he refused the resources of his country to go out of his country, to go in France, because the people who are benefiting with the resources in the Burkina Faso, it was France. Ibrahim Traore refused France not to come and take all their resources. And yet France, it is not doing any development in Burkina Faso. So because of Ibrahim Traore cutting the resources of his country to go out of his country, these people, they were not happy. They came with threat. So also these people, they need to leave our country alone. Have you ever seen our black people lecturing them with their leaders? We have also our leaders, they have not sent a threat to their leaders. Why is it they usually interfere with our leaders, with our country? They need to stop, and they need to do all these things so that we can start forgiving them. So kindly guys, I don't want to talk too much. Let's talk more on the comment section. Tell me, what do you think? Is this love for the white people towards Ibrahim Traore genuine, or there is something that these people, they are looking at? So kindly guys, you can tell me on the comment section. And also, this video, it was an educational video. I'm not fighting any races or any people. For me, I'm just passing a message, and also it is an educational purposes for our people, our black people over the continent. So kindly guys, subscribe if you haven't, like this video, share, and also comment. See you on my next one. Bye bye.